Hi, guys. So today we are talking about parts of speech. I know we started talking about this earlier in the year. We did nouns and verbs, but Edpuzzle was a mess. So we are starting fresh. You'll notice that I have baseball on the screen. That's because parts of speech are like positions in a sentence. Every word has a role that it fills on the team. And so it's just like baseball, you know? Instead of having catcher and pitcher and things like that, you have nouns and verbs and adjectives, things like that. And some parts of speech get more play than others. For example, nouns and verbs are practically in every single sentence. Just like if you were playing backyard baseball, you're with your friends in the neighborhood, you're going to need a pitcher and a catcher. And maybe you don't need anybody else, but you're going to need those two to play baseball. Therefore, nouns and verbs I put as like the pitcher and the catcher. Now, one thing with this metaphor as well that I like is that each word can be a different part of speech. Some words are usually one or another, but they can be multiple. Take, for example, imagine my older brother, Mike. He played catcher when he was a kid. So he played catcher in middle school. But then in high school, he played on 3 different teams. He played on a Babe Ruth travel team. He played on his varsity high school team. But then in ninth grade, there was still a Little League team available, and my brother wanted to play. So he went, and there was, just 10 other kids in the entire town who was on the Little League team, and none of them were a pitcher. So there was no one to take that position. So they asked, okay, who could throw the fastest and the straightest? And since my brother was a catcher, he became the pitcher sometimes. So depending on the game, sometimes he was a catcher, and then later in the game or on a different game, he would be the pitcher. And this works for words as well, because you can have words like the word run, so R-U-N, run, and sometimes it's a verb, like I run to the store, I run away from scary monsters. But then sometimes it's a noun, like I am going on a run with my dog. So just because a certain word is usually one thing doesn't mean that's always that. You cannot tell the part of speech unless you know let me rephrase that. You can now not tell the part of speech unless you know how it's used in the sentence.